For our lesson today, we are going to be looking at proportions and how to solve proportions. So just remember that a proportion is a way that we are going to relate two ratios. We're going to set them equal to each other, and we're going to use the cross multiplication method in order to solve these proportions. Now, a lot of times you'll see proportions back in geometry or possibly even earlier than that, but we might have similar figures or maybe a blueprint of something that is drawn to scale, and we are going to be asked to find the proportion that works for this situation. So here we have two similar figures. So we have a rectangle. The short end of the rectangle is 9 feet, and in the other similar figure, the short end of the rectangle is 3 feet. So we can relate this as 9 over 3 is equal to, and then we're going to do the same thing with the longer piece of this rectangle. So we have x matches with 5. And since we have the longer side in the top of this first fraction, it has to be in the top of this second fraction. So x must go in the top and the 5 must go in the bottom here. Now, we are going to use the cross multiplication method. So we're going to work across the equal sign diagonally. All right, and we're going to multiply these. So 3 times x is 3x, and 9 times 5 is 45. Okay, and now all we're going to do is solve this for x. So 3 times x is equal to 45. Well, to undo this multiplication, we're going to divide by 3, and we get that x is equal to 45 divided by 3 is 15. Now, there is more than one way to solve a proportion. So we could have set this proportion up as 9 over x, meaning these two in the first figure is equal to 3 over 5 in this other figure. And a lot of times you can use mental math with these proportions. So how did I go from 9 to 3? Well, I did that from dividing by 3 here. And we see that 15 divided by 3 would give me 5. Okay, or we could still cross multiply. We're still going to get 3x. 9 times 5 is 45. And as you see, we get the same sequence, the same numbers here, and so our x is still going to be equal to 15. All right, let's look at another example. So we have a triangle with side k that matches with 8. So let's say k over 8 is equal to, all right, triangle of side 4 matches with the side of 2. All right, and we're going to cross multiply here as well. So we have 4 times 8. 4 times 8 is 32. And 2 times k. So we have 2k here. Now, to get k by itself, we need to undo this multiplication of 2 times k. We do that by dividing by 2. So we have 32 divided by 2, which is 16. Okay? Now let's look at sometimes when we have a proportion set up, we have something in the top that is not just an x. It is the quantity, or it is x minus 7. So that whole quantity, it's not just the variable x or the variable k like we had in examples 1 and examples 2. Now to do these, we're still going to cross multiply these. All right, so we're still going to take 2 times the quantity of x minus 7, and that's equal to 6 times 7. Well, when you have this, you need to use your distributive property. So we have to say 2 times x and 2 times 7. So the 2 times x is going to be 2x, 2 times 7 is minus 14, and 6 times 7 is going to give us 42. Okay, and now this turns into just solving a multi-step equation. All right, we're going to add 14 to both sides, add 14 to both sides. This gets my 14 to cancel. on this side, we are just left with 2x. All right, this gets brought down, and that's equal to 42 plus 14 is, let's see, 56. And then we're going to divide by 2 to get x by itself. And that will give us x is equal to 28. Okay, let's look at example 4. This time our quantity is not in the top of the fraction, it's in the bottom of the fraction. So we have 4 times x plus 4 and 5 times 6 on this side. So again, we're going to use our distributive property. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 4 is positive 16. And 5 times 6 is going to give us 30. Okay, in this case, since we have a positive 16 here, in order to undo that, we need to move it over to this side by subtracting 16 from both sides. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's subtract 16, subtract 16. This will get the 16s to cancel. We're left with 4x is equal to 30 minus 16 is going to give us 14. All right, and then we're going to divide by 4, divide by 4. And when we do this in our calculator, we're going to get a decimal. You're going to get 3.5. And that is okay. We could have 3.5, or we could simplify or reduce this fraction, 14, simplifying this fraction, 14 divided by 2 and 4 divided by 2. So this could simplify by dividing out a factor of 2. That would give us 7 over 2. And 7 over 2 is the same as 3.5. So this is just a couple of different ways in which we can solve proportions.